Okay, good morning everybody. Hello, hello, hello. This is Cliff from the Christian Tough Guy Show, coming right at you. Okay, today we are ready. We're changing things up slightly this morning. Alright, we're trying something different. We've got 28 minutes, so it's not long. And last night I put out that we were going to be talking about sugars, artificial and natural. Do we really need them? Do we really need them? And what we're saying is we're inviting people to ring in. Your best number is 01543 898 664. Once again, 01543 898 664. So get phoning people. We want to hear what you think. All right, about this subject, which is so confusing. And I just want to kick off by saying that I feel absolutely so disappointed in how many people are being doped and conned and fooled by the sugar industry, whether that be your table sugar, sucrose, trehalose, saccharin, any of it. And I go on feeling, and I know when something's right, and I know when something's wrong. And listeners, I just know something's wrong. And last night, I was listening in to Leslie Conda and a gentleman by the name of Philip Day. Philip Day is the author of Cancer: Why We Are Still Dying to Know the Truth. And I just sat on the edge of my chair, absolutely glued to the TV. I thought it was fantastic. You know, people, we've got two options here. Turn around and say, I don't know what they're talking about. Sugar is not gonna harm you. Or we think, well, hang on a minute. There's something in this. Perhaps I shouldn't be having 3, which I don't. I hope you guys and girls don't. Perhaps I shouldn't be having 3 teaspoons of sugar in my cup of tea in the morning. 3 teaspoons of sugar in my mid-morning coffee, you know? But why do you think people that are involved, whether it's in the sucrose, table sugar, the trehalose, sugar industry, why do they not want to tell you the whole truth? Exactly, because it's a highly lucrative industry and people are made millions out of it and driving around in Ferraris and living in great big 7-bedroom mansions somewhere because it's making them a lot of money. That is why we have the big cover-up. And, you know, Philip Day last night was going on to say that you know, sugar feeds cancer. Sugary tastes, you know, the medical experts agree that that happens. If you've got the lust for, and I learned something last night, I can tell you, if you've got this lust for something sugary taste, whether it's tree hellos, sucrose, or whatever, if you've got that, I've got to have that, then there is underlying health problems going on. But Philip Day, the expert, and this guy is an expert, he's an authoritative figure able to speak on the dangers of sugar, saccharine, or whatever, the umbrella term for sugar, whether it's sucrose, tree hellos, you name it. So he's an authoritative figure. You know, I mean, we've got to take on board what these people are saying to us. And then we've got to think, why is it that the drug pharmaceutical industry actually don't want you to get better and well? Think about it. It isn't rocket science, people, is it? Just think about it. Because they're making money. Philip Day went on to say that the majority of illnesses in the Western world today is inflammation. You know, whether it's inflammation of the pancreas, pancreatitis, inflammation of the gut, inflammation of the heart disease, all of it. It stems from our eating habits. Yes, he discussed meat. Again, another lucrative industry. Why do they want to protect themselves? Because if they know they get taken out, that's the end of their lucrative lifestyle. It's over, finished, gone. They don't care if you're healthy or unhealthy. They don't care. They just do not care. But Philip Day went on to say that the biggest killer is sugar. Care not what it is, whether it's tree hellos, sucrose, or whatever it is, you're being doped. You're being doped. We have to look back to nature with the foods that God provided us to eat. And we have to look and we have to say, right, okay, this is good to eat, this is not good to eat. You know, there's a fantastic, there's going to be another fantastic talk with Philip Day on Revelation TV sometime today. Now, I do think that Philip Day is joining them for their morning talk. The best thing to do is to get onto the revelationtv.com site and just look at the timetable and see, you know, kind of when he's going to be on and what he's going to be talking about. But one question if I get the chance and he's on today, I want to ask is, yesterday, Mr. Day, you talked a lot about sugar and how the desire for sugary the the desire for sugary things, sugary tasting things, underlies health problems, whether it be sucrose or any other of these sugar sweeteners, the good, the bad, and the ugly of those. Can you please expound more and tell us a little bit more about this? What's going on in the body and why sugar is linked to cancer? Sugar is linked to obesity. You know, Philip Day went on to explain that back in the days of King Henry, you know, and we're talking about 300-400 years ago, that sort of time, the time when meat was only for the gentry, and us peasants, which would have been the masses. Don't worry, I'm saying I'm a peasant. Well, I'm not gentry or royalty, so I've been classed as a peasant. We wouldn't have got access to meat. We wouldn't have eaten meat, and yet the figures show that there was virtually 0 cases of cancer and obesity. Work that one out. Within the away from the gentry. The gentry used to feed and feast on big slabs of pork and lamb and beef and, you know, that sort of thing. They were the ones that were obese. They were the ones that had all the illnesses related to eating of meat. He then goes on to say, oh yeah, sheep shriek horror help, you know. And I thought this, I was going on, but what about bodybuilders then? What about bodybuilders? They need the protein. And he said, you show me one case where somebody within the Western world has died from protein deficiency. He said, you won't find one. We're eating too much of the stuff. We are. According to this Philip Day, we're eating too much of the stuff. You need protein, yes, but not to the amounts that in some references we've been told, a gram per body weight. He thinks a 200-pound man could probably get away with about 20 grams of protein a day. So what I'm saying, people, is again, look, do we shake our heads and say, nah, you don't know what you're talking about, mate. Mr. Day, you talk a load of rubbish. When really and truly we don't know, to be honest. Well, I don't. And I suspect a lot of you listening in are the same as me. You just don't know, do you? So what do? Do we carry on and listen to the people, whatever capacity, involved within the sugar industry, and let them sell us this tree hellos and goodness knows what? Or do we act in humility and say, well, I'd like to know a little bit more about what Mr. Philip Day has got to say for himself? It'd be very interesting to link in to Revelation TV and either on their catch-up TV facility, or when he's live, listen to what he's got to say, and if we get the opportunity and the chance to ask questions, because that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to ask him the question, specifically on a certain type of sugar, which if you guys listen in today, if he's on this morning, I'm going to directly ask him it and see what he says. Talking about all sugar. Well, what about tree hellos? Is tree hellos the good guy of the sugar within the sugar world? Or is tree hellos just sugar? To my mind, that confuses me. Because we can get doped into so much of these scientific studies this and scientific studies that, and before we know it, we're going out buying bags of tree hellos. When we really don't know the toxicity of the stuff. Oh, it's palmed off that it's nowhere near as bad as sucrose, fructose, sucralose, etc., etc., etc. But is it still sugar? That's the question. We need to also ask the question, okay, well, glucose within the bloodstream. Where do we get our sugar from? Is watermelon going to spike your insulin levels sky high? What about raw carrots? What about tomatoes? What about plums, grapes? Do we get our natural sugar levels from cabbage, from broccoli, from beetroot? What foods should we be eating? And what foods really should we be avoiding? Should we be avoiding bread and grains? Oh, but they ate them in years ago. But that wasn't the grains that we have now, according to Philip Day. Do you get me? We're being doped. And the people that are doping us are the people that make money out of us. All this Philip Day is doing is exposing the truth. So, I invite you to call in. Ring us up. Tell us your story. The number again, 01 543 898 664. We'd love to hear from somebody within the sugar industry. Their side of the story. If there's somebody out there that's a tree hellos expert, get on the phone and tell us why tree hellos has been reputed to be the best out of the best of the sugar. It's still sugar. Get on and share your feelings, and what we'll do is we'll open up the phone lines in the next 5 minutes, and we will record exactly what you're saying and broadcast this in a separate broadcast so that people can hear exactly the lies and the deceit of the sugar industry experts. So don't forget, people, get over and watch the Revelation TV talk with Philip Day, the author of Cancer, Why We Are Still Dying to Know the Truth. This is Cliff from the Christian Tough Guy Show. For the moment, I'm out of here. Ciao.